if you do meet some leaders in a company that they really have high resistance towards black people, even though you do qualify for the role, you might not get it.
If you run with me, I gotta work for the both of us.
Hi everyone, I hope you guys are doing well. So if you're new to my channel, hi, hello, welcome. My name is Anne, and today we are going to talk about living in Italy as a black girl. Okay, so first up, I'm going to start with finding work in Italy. What I realized after living in Italy for some time is the fact that as black, when it comes to getting white collar job, it can be like very difficult. And most of the time, what you really will find to do here is maybe working in a factory, cleaning, working in a farm, and all this kind of stuff. But if you're a black person, I've not really seen a black person that is in like a higher position in a white collar job. I'm yet to like really find that, like someone being like the CEO or someone being like a manager and all that kind of stuff. No, because I don't know, but then I feel like there is like this implied systematic racism in in that regard, because it's not only just blacks from outside that are experiencing that, but then black Italians, like children that were kind of like born here, even do face this implied systematic racism. So basically, as a black person, if you want to apply to a position, it's like for you to qualify, you're going to have to prove double of what your white counterpart will have to prove for that role. So basically, that is what I really realized out here. It's kind of like really difficult for you to climb up the job ladder as a black person. To some extent, it's a bit troubling because in other countries you can see like black people, like they can occupy position in like at any level in any business, because as long as you qualify for that position, they're going to give it to you. And one other thing that I really realized is the fact that sometimes entering into certain fields, it becomes very difficult for you as a black person. But then you're going to find some companies that want representation, and if that happens to be the case, obviously you're going to benefit. But then if you do meet some leaders in a company that they really have high resistance towards black people, even though you do qualify for the role, you might not get it. That reminds me of there was this guy who he's good, he qualifies for a certain role, he has studied, he has gotten his patented B, C, the level for him to be able to drive a bus. So he applied to drive a bus in our city, and at the beginning they called him, they were like, yeah, they needed someone, and they told him they needed someone, all of that. They were like, okay, so can he come immediately? He was like, yeah. When he went and they realized that he was a black person, and they were like, okay, so yeah, the role is no longer available. And it was like, why? Because they like, you just spoke to me and you said that I should come and the role is available. And they were like, yeah, the role is no longer available. Basically, you know what really that means, because he happened to be a black person, they just shut him off from the role of having to drive a bus in our region, like in our city. But other places, black people get to work in whatever whatever sector they choose to, as long as you qualify for the role. Another thing I also want to talk about is for the fact that like the system in regards to work, like promotion, hierarchy, how the flow is very difficult to understand. You understand? The system is so slow when it comes to work. If you find yourself in certain industries, you can work in a particular role for several years and you are not going to get promotion, which I find it very, 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 like, I find it very, very troublesome. You get it, and I really do not I do not understand at all, because I was asking some people that I know that, like, so how come you just been working like at this role for a very, very long time, and then you have not, like, your salary have not been increased, you have not been promoted in any way? Because obviously, sometimes when you get promoted, that's when it comes with, an increase in salary and those kind of stuff. But then, and they were like, yeah, that is it. Sometimes when you ask, they tell you that is what is being offered, and if you don't like, then go. And I find it as like very, very troubling. That is why I kind of like feel like, if you just want to work at the base for a very, very long time, at a point it will become very exhausting, because having to live on the same money that you used to live on 10 years ago, or you used to live on like maybe 5 years ago, or just with just a pinch of an increase. Because I realized that currently in the plastic sector, they've increased like salary just by a pinch of euros, which I find it very absurd. So basically, that is something that I really wanted to share on some of the things that I realized living in Italy for the past 3 years. I hope you did find value in this video. If you did, please don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and share with other people as well. So I will see you in my next video. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. My handle will be right here. So see you in my next video.